welcome to BCAT Superintendent Update. My name is Nicci Kadilak, and I have here with me Superintendent Conti. Welcome.
Hi, Nicci.
Hi, how are you?
Doing very well, thank you.
Staying healthy mostly?
Trying, mostly.
Right?
Like everyone else.
Oh, man. So we're at December already.
Hard to believe, but yes.
Oh, yeah.
A week away from break, so that's coming right up.
That's right. So what have been some exciting moments so far this school year for staff, for students, for you?
I think very recently we had our first esports champion. Gio Delgado's a senior.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not a video gamer myself, so I can't really explain too much. I think he won in the Madden sports area, and I think he was the champion, and it was a New England competition. It wasn't just Massachusetts. So. And there was a shutout in the final in the championship. So he just did amazingly well.
Wow.
They interviewed him. He really thanked his coaches, Leroy Wong and Nolan Hart. And I just think it's a team that we added 5 or 6 years ago,
sounds right.
when we created some space. Dennis Villano had a big hand in it, and I think we initiated it with a grant, and it appeals to a certain group of kids who have that passion, and I'm just really happy that we could provide that space and that opportunity, and now we have a champion, which is great.
That's awesome. That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah, and then I've been out in schools. I think what's been a lot of creative stuff happening in classrooms. I think what's been sort of motivating for me is there's also a lot of routine, and I think kids learn best when there's sort of a routine in place, and they should have the routines down now. It is December. Again, a lot of learning taking place. They seem very happy. And it's a dark month. Not a lot of light. I think recess is, affected by winter and by weather, and I know you're going to ask me about that, so I was going to try to provide a lead in for you as well. But again, I think things that are happening in schools I've been very pleased.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, my little 5-year-old is coming home reading now, and that's just, that's great, and it means to me that things are going really well in his classroom. So, and of course, my middle school and high schooler are coming home with learnings as well. So, can confirm for for my part anyway. So, speaking of weather, it's the winter. We did have some snow already, which is we don't usually have a whole lot of snow in December, but we've had some, and we're all thinking about when's the first snow day going to be and how snowy the winter's going to be. How do you make the decision on whether or not to close schools?
Well, the process tends to be the same. So if there's a state of emergency declared by the governor, which there has been, that sort of takes the decision out of anyone's local hands. So I mean, that kind of makes sense. If it's just a sort of a typical snowstorm, it depends on timing. It depends on where it comes in. Burlington seems to be blessed with being on the border of lots of these storms.
We really are,
so it's, you could get 1 inch or 8 inches, depending on sort of where you fall. Process starts the night before, again, depending on timing, but usually ends up at kind of an early morning conversation with my colleagues surrounding area, which is kind of very funny because we're all half asleep at 4 in the morning. And then a lot of conversations with DPW to see the conditions of the roads and the parking lots. And, I'm of the opinion, I'm not sure, I can't speak for my colleagues, that we live in New England. There's no bad weather, just bad clothes. And we need to come to school whenever possible. Again, if the roads aren't clear, if DPW needs more time, they have very hard jobs and they do a great job. And then if our neighbors are all sort of closing, it's kind of a group decision. There's a lot of individual pieces to it, but then you need to make the decision by 5 in the morning, and then the announcement needs to go up by 5:15 because I have staff traveling from, some are commuting an hour or more, and so we need to get that message out as early as possible. I know I've gotten some feedback. Some parents would like it later. But
I would like it the night before.
Yeah, but we've gotten where we've made the call the night before, and then the storm hasn't come in.
Right,
so
of course,
sometimes it's a
balancing
not possible. I like to make it as early as possible as well, so it's not like I enjoy getting up at 4. So But I think we, if the call is made in the morning, it really needs to be made by, no later than 5:30. And then the process would repeat itself.
Yeah.
I think lately we've seen much more snow in late January, February timeframe. So, I'd rather not make the call, but if we do, having a snow day is always a great thing. I think every student should experience at least one. After the one,
we're done.
I'm gonna try to keep schools open.
And how can families find out whether or not there's school on a given day?
We do it in multiple ways. Parent Square, we usually use some social media. We still use the radio and TV stations, but people tend to look on their text. Seems to be the fastest way that people find out. And honestly, once one of the kids finds out, then
and everybody knows.
It's off to the races. So,
yeah.
I will say that I do get some lobbying from students in regards to calling the day, and while I appreciate that lobbying, it really has no impact. So I don't want to discourage it, but again, I read them all, but it's kind of funny.
Oh, that's awesome. So you get emails from students that are like, Dr. Conti, please don't make me go to school tomorrow.
I'm a new driver, whatever, it's too cold.
Oh, I love this.
I'll promise I'll study all day at home.
That is a lesson in self-advocacy,
so
kids.
It's great, good stuff.
That's wonderful. So now, as a kid, what was your favorite snow day activity?
I would make money, actually. So shoveling is, I love going around and doing that. I'm old enough where I remember the blizzard of '78 and sort of, I think we were shut for 2 weeks, and that worked out well for me financially, not school-wise, but that's it. And then, it breaks up the routine. And I think that's always there's some good to that.
Yeah. And what do you do these days on a snow day?
I'm usually here. So I usually try to make sure school's ready, and then try to come in and get some work done.
No rest for the guy making the call.
Or whatever. I mean, we're work. There's always work to do. So that's kind of.
Oh, I know it.
So.
All right, so let's pivot a little bit. We'll talk about the high school vote. We haven't had a conversation since that happened. That was on November 15th. There was a special election, debt exclusion, $333 million, and from a 2-to-1 vote, people in town said, no, thank you, we're not going to do that. So what happens now?
Well, we have a bunch of different options, and a lot of our other schools had negative votes first as well. So Memorial took a couple, middle school took a couple, so not completely unexpected. Burlington's history with debt exclusions, certainly this was a likely possibility. Yeah. So, but the building's needs don't go away. So I think the opposition, it seemed like, had saying it wasn't the right time or the right plan. So I really think we need to try to come up with the right plan and at the right time. And so I think that would be it. Supporting with School Committee 1, it has already voted to extend the school building committee. I think we need to submit another statement of interest to the state, and we need to do that in public, because we'll do that sort of in an open meeting, because people seem to think that there's a better way to do it. So I'll certainly take that feedback, and we can do that publicly. And then concurrently, we have to figure out what this building needs and put that together in a way that makes sense, because you don't want to repeat work, or you don't want to fix something and then have to tear down that something to fix something else. So I don't have that expertise, so it may be something that we ask town meeting to put together a 10-year plan that doesn't trigger a debt exclusion or something like that, where we would eventually, over a longer period of time, end up with a building that is updated and accessible. Right.
It wouldn't be brand new. It wouldn't have any sort of reconfiguration necessarily like the new construction would have, but at least it would be up to code and have new systems in it. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I guess. We'd still have, I'm not sure we would have any more windows than we have now, and again, it would sort of keep the design that it has. And I'm of the mindset that it's the people and programs inside that are always most important. So again, we would try to focus on that. And if the building had some limitations, we would just hope those limitations don't impact the people in the programs that are here. So that's what I would say, but really doesn't change what we do week to week, day to day. Again, I think it was people put a lot of time into coming up with a plan, and I think it was a good community effort, and I think that's the whole reason you have a vote. So I'm almost would rather have lost by 2-1 than say we lost by 10 votes or something like that. It would have been, oh my God, what slight thing could we have done differently? But it was clear.
A clear message.
It was a clear message.
And how can people get involved in the next iteration of this process?
Well, they're public meetings, so I think the school committee may be asking certain people to join, especially some of the more vocal people who didn't agree with the plan. So maybe they can now help us create a plan that they can agree with. And then most of the people I've spoken with have said we have to do something. So it's not we don't want to do anything. So we just have to figure out the right direction to go. So it'll be it'll be a public process. Either they can observe it or not, and hopefully we can come up with a direction. And again, in the meantime, kids are here today. They're learning today. They'll be here tomorrow, and so we have to not lose sight of the immediacy of the school that's happening either.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, it's just about time for us to go. It's just about time for us to head out on winter vacation. What parting message do you have in 2025 for school, for families and students?
I just want to wish everyone a happy holiday season. I know families are celebrating Hanukkah currently, and I think we have Christmas obviously coming up on the 25th. New Year is always a great time to purge what you want to purge and sort of have an optimistic...
Literally and figuratively.
Right, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
So I'm wishing everyone sort of a very healthy 26. I think there's been a lot of illness sort of floating around, and people need to stay healthy. We want kids in school. But I'm looking forward to an exciting 2026, just like in concluding, I think, a very successful 2025. So again, I want to wish everyone the best holiday they can have.
Wonderful. Well, I hope that all of you take some time with family or on your own to have a very nice holiday and break, whatever that means to you. And we'll see you next time on Superintendent Update.